Well, alright folks, let me show you what I got going on here today. I am attempting another trap out job, and that is because they are in the base of this very large tree, oak tree, which yeah, it's kind of still alive. It's mostly dead. It's dead on the inside, that's why the bees are in it, but you know, the group that hired me to do this wants to try to keep the tree if they can, so we're going to try a trap out before we resort to cutting this big boy down. And that's good too, because it's a big tree. I don't really want to cut it down, just because I don't want to fight with that. Anyway, you can see they're going in here on this rotten spot at the bottom. It's not actually a knot hole. It's just a spot in the root flare where it rotted out enough they could get in and get an access. And you can see it is a busy colony. So I'm excited to be looking at this. I'm excited to be working on it. Right now they're being friendly. They got a good gold color to them, like they got a lot of Italian in them. But man, this is a lot of activity. You see a lot of propolis tracks up the side of the tree there, up to about here. Like they've been here for a little while. They've been reported for at least 3 weeks. So I got out here as quick as I could. You can see we're right beside this concrete walking trail, so certainly considered a threat to the community, anyone that uses these walking trails. But I want to try to get it set up for a trap out. Only other trap I'd ever tried didn't work, so I'm trying to be careful here, be cautious, take what I do with a grain of salt until we'll see at the end whether or not it works. But right now I'm just going to try to get it set up, try to get the entrance plugged up and screen on it, and get a bait hive set up. Alright, so this will be part of the trap out video and also just a quick instructional. I had to end up building a funnel or a cone, if you will, for this trap out job. And just to give you all kind of the specifics on what I did, I built it extra large to make sure that I have plenty of space. The actual hole in the tree is only, I mean, it was actually too small for me to put a piece of 1¼ PVC inside of. So a very small hole they're actually getting into, but huge busy colony inside, at least from what I can tell from the outside activity. But it's set back up in the, you know, up in the root flare of the tree, so I don't have a flat surface. So I gave myself plenty of space, extra base space. But what I'll do is I'll just take this and, you know, stick it over top the main of the hole, and then I'll go all the way around the edges, as you've seen many others do, with nails. Nail it to the tree trunk, and then use silicone to seal up so the bees can't get out around the edges, and that'll force them out the tip of the cone. And right at the tip of the cone will be the entrance to the hive body, and then of course they can't find their way back in, so we'll end up going into the hive body instead. That is the ideal, so we shall see how it goes. I showed y'all what the tree looked like, and now I've got my cone put on here. This is the cone. I put the video up about how I made it. Looks like it's working pretty good so far, at least about keeping the bees out, but the problem is two different components there, the cone and the base. It's just duct taped together. There's no real tight fitting seam to hold them together, and I'm really afraid that it's just going to fall apart. I'm afraid I might come over here tomorrow and just find the cone laying on the ground, and if that happens, it's fine. I'll bring along some fishing line or some wire or something. I'll have to actually physically stitch it together so it can't fall off there, but I duct taped it inside and out to try to help hold it up tight. And I tried to get a few nails right there and right there on the edges that hopefully are in one of the flanges of the base of the cone, but I don't know for sure. But anyway, got the cone put on, ran silicone all the way around the edge just to try to make sure, even if I did miss a spot with the nails, that it's sealed up, and it seems to be working. And then I've got my bait hive sitting here now. I went ahead and brought a weak colony over that I had, a nuke that's got a pretty new queen, not a whole lot of bees, but you know, a little bit of brood, a little bit of queen, and a little bit of bees, and I set it there, so hopefully as the bees get trapped out, they will just say, well, you know what, I can't get back in the tree, I'll just join up with this colony here. So I kind of expect to come over here tomorrow. Sad as it is, I expect to come over here tomorrow, find the cone on the ground, and find more bees in that box. But I don't know, we'll just see. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, but so far they've been really nice bees. I started working, wasn't suited up. As I was nailing up the base, a little rain blew through, and I think just as that rain started, they got a little bit more fussy, and one stung me on the hand, and then I had one chasing me around trying to sting my legs, but I managed to get away just with that one little minor sting on my hand. So, and I don't have my suit on now, and they're being okay. I've got one crawling on my neck, which is giving me the jitters, but that's all right. But you can see a couple, they're coming out here on the cone. I just saw one come out the tip of the cone, so that's one less that's getting back in, hopefully. Anyway, I'm gonna pick up the rest of my tools and head home for the night, and we'll check back tomorrow. Alright, so here's just day one of the trap out update. Looks like the cone held up through our storm. We had a heck of a storm here last night. I got 3 inches of rain, but folks up the road reported 7 inches at their place. A lot of lightning, a lot of thunder. It's pretty impressive, actually. Good little light show. Anyway, looks like the duct tape held and the trap out held, and looking at it now, I see plenty of bees trapped out, and I can't see any of them going back in anywhere. I put it all around the edges of the duct tape and stuff. See, a lot of them will crawl up underneath the edge of a duct tape and then crawl back out. So I don't think they're getting back in. I keep seeing bees every now and then. Here comes one. Crawling up the cone. Oh, there she is. And 2 of them. Boom, there they go out. So more and more bees coming out. My bait hive here is definitely working. I pulled the lid off of it just to take a peek, and it is chock full. Yesterday when I set it up, it was what I would consider a weak colony. It only had 3 frames of bees and brood in a 5-frame nook, and now it is, every frame is covered. So a lot of bees decided to move into there, which is good. I actually am going to, here in a couple days, I'll bring back and I'll add a second deep or maybe a medium to this with some drawing combs. Give them plenty of space to keep moving into this setup. But right now it looks like everything is going good.